State of motion can be described as with the help of the motion, that is its speed and the direction also. Dear students, now we can say something about state of motion. In previous discussion, we have seen that while we are pushing a body, then its state was changing. Similarly, while we are pushing it, again its state was changing, or when you are lifting it, again its state was changing. So, what is the state as far as the position is concerned? That the space where the body is situated is the position, and the state of motion is whether the body is moving or the body is not moving, that means at rest. So state of motion can be described as with the help of the motion, that is its speed and the direction also, because if I am here this time, the state of motion of my state of motion is at rest, that means I am not moving, that means I am at rest. But now as I am moving here, that means how I am moving? I am moving very slow. And where I am moving? Forward. Here I am moving slow but backward. Similarly, if I am moving like this, so that means I am moving forward, but this time my speed was high, more than the previous one. So this state of motion can be described with the help of speed and the direction. I may be moving in forward direction, maybe in rightward, leftward, or backward. So the direction also will give some sense of the state of motion. So the force, as you have seen in case of the pull or push or lift, we have seen that the state of motion changes. That means we can say that the force changes the state of motion. So if this is a block and you apply force on this, then what will happen? This block will move with certain speed, and where? In this direction, in the forward direction. So the state of motion is clear. But if you pull it just like that child who was pulling the that toy, so if you are pulling here, so again some speed will be there and it is moving somewhere here in the backward direction. So this way again we are in a position that its state of motion is changing whenever we are applying a force on a body. Suppose you kick a football, then in that case also the state of motion of the football changes. If it was coming from the other player, then suppose the player is giving you the pass and then you push it with kicking it, then what is happening? The two things are taking place there. Number one, its speed may increase or decrease according to your force. When you just see, this is a pencil. When you press it, a push button, the pen with push button having a spring over here. Similarly, so when you press it, the shape of the spring within the pencil or pen changes, and when you release it, then again its shape is changes. That means force can change the shape of a body. Or when you pull a rubber band, what happens? Means you are applying a force on the rubber band and the rubber band is stretched. This rubber band, when pulled, so it gets this much longer than this. So similarly is with this spring. If you pull this spring, then it becomes like this. You are applying a force here. So its shape is changed. So was the case of the balloon. And when you pull, in case of the during Dasara holidays, you enjoy the Ramlila, and most of the children in those days play with the arrow and bow. So they stretch the string of the bow. That time the shape of the bow changes. So this is the normal. And now when this string is stretched, so this time this shape of the bow is changed. It may be in exactly in middle, then the shape will be some different. If it is somewhere here, the shape will become different. If it is taken from here, this shape will be different. That depends on the way the child is pulling these strings with the arrow. So the shape of the string as well as the bow is changing. So this way we can also conclude that force can change the shape of a body. Or while you might have enjoying sometime the samosa, and the samosa without chutney is of not that much tasty. So whenever the halwai gives you the pouch of the chutney, then he just packs those chutney pouches with the help of a small rubber band. So that time he is packing these chutneys with the rubber band by applying force, stretching the rubber band 3 times, 4 times, and then give it to you. So these examples show that the force can change the shape of the body. When we stretch an elastic, then its shape is changed. That means when applying the force, the shape of the elastic is changed. So force can change the shape. Force can change the shape of the body. Just see. Yeah. Now force can change the shape. Just see. If I press it here, I apply the force, then its shape is changing. it can change the shape. Just see, it can change the shape. When you apply the force, it can change the shape. So force can change the shape.